money stay high. Go to YouTube for story time with Ray We say he's a great guy. Have a lot of fun telling you his life and blaze live. Stay high. I dare you tonight to like, share, and subscribe.
What is good, Vibe Gang? It is your boy Ray here with a special story time, Ray, fitting Hurricane Helene that we're in full effect, and we're in tornado warning, hurricane warning, evacuation warnings. It's getting crazy, and it's getting crazier and crazier. I looked up at the sky earlier today and I went, oh, I've never seen the sky do what it did. But the good thing is that they're saying that the hurricane is moving fast. So we are going to get hit, and there's going to be power outages, there's going to be floods, it's going to be damage, but it's not going to linger. The storm is moving pretty fast. It is just going to, they said Friday morning, we should be back in order. Like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Friday morning, we should be back to normal weather for Florida in this time of year. So it moves more south. That's the update that I got like about an hour and a half ago. It is moving more south. So it's not gonna, the eye is not gonna hit what it was going to hit now, but it's going to hit directly to Tallahassee. So everyone in Tallahassee, if you haven't yet, please, before it comes, try to find a way to evacuate. It's gonna hit you guys head on. Get out of there. None of that stuff is worth it. Leave. Find shelter. I wouldn't drive, but if need be, start driving more inlet and stay at a hotel or do what you got to do or with family or something. But get out of that area because the way they're calculating it, it's going to hit Tallahassee pretty hard. It's going to be Category 4 when it touches Tallahassee. So that to me is just scary as hell. And I'm not that far from Tallahassee either, but we're gonna be getting a lot of thunderstorms. We're in tornado warning now, so we're just gonna have to fight it out and see what happens. But the good thing is, if any good that you could get out of this is that storm did push more towards the left, so it's not gonna hit the majority of Florida the way it was intending to do earlier. So she did move south and made that turn. So, but still, Tallahassee's gonna get hit straight on. So, my prayers go to everybody that is out there in Tallahassee because that's crazy, man. But it is hurricane season, so what do we expect? What did we expect? So, back in 2004, I came to Florida in, forgot what month it was. I think it was August, September, around there. That was when I first got to Florida. The travel and everything, how I got there was not really, there's nothing, it was just your normal thing. It actually happened really quick. Like quicker than I thought it was going to be. Like 1 minute I was in New York, next minute I was here. So it kind of happened real fast. So it was like, I don't know, it was weird. But it could be that I was in my head a lot because I was leaving someplace that I know to someplace that I don't know. And it was a crazy decision, but it was a good decision because I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't make that decision. So 1 point for Florida. But I forgot, but all I know it was I got there 2004. Hurricane Charly just was about to hit Florida when I got there. So at this point, I'm staying at my sister's house until, we got the apartment and we got everything situated and everything was in order. So a couple weeks passed by. That's when we start getting the notification, not the notification, but about a week after we got there, that's when they were already doing the background checks. They were doing everything to get the apartment. And the truck that we got for moving was just getting to Florida. And we literally got the key to the apartment and the truck got there that night to deliver all our stuff. So we got to the apartment. We set everything up. Everything was set up. Everything was good. I set up my room. Everybody set up their shit. And then that time, I remember us getting the announcement that we were about to get hit with a hurricane. I was already starting to work in Florida, in Walmart at this time, and like this was like my second day or some shit like that. And they had a big thing there saying, "Yo, we're shut down." I worked at the Citrus Park Walmart, and they said, "Yo, they shut this down. We're not working today because of the hurricane." And I was like, what?" Mind you, I'm from New York. We don't deal with hurricanes. We don't know what the fuck that is. Snowstorm blizzards? Let me holler at you. I could talk to you for days about blizzards. But when it comes to this hurricane shit, I'm not too read up on hurricanes at this moment in my life. So we get the notice. I'm like, all right, that was like the first notice. And it was already like cloudy and rainy. It was shitty outside. Like the winds were not, like the palm trees was just doing this. And I'm like, and my brother-in-law was the one taking me to work. So we're in the parking lot. I'm like, yo, what the hell's going on? And he was like, no, that's the hurricane. So he put on the news. And then it was a category, whatever it was, hurricane. It's going to hit us dead on. It's going to be the, and I'm over here like, I moved to Florida so I can live a life and you're going to take it from me that quick? Talk about the biggest hurricane in the world. Right when I get here, that's when you want to do that. That's when you want to be the biggest hurricane in the world and shit. Fuck out of here, bro. I ain't got time for that. We go back to the car because we're like, yo, they're closed. They're not going to let us in. We're not going to work. Fuck it. So we go. My brother-in-law takes us back to the apartment. So we sitting there trying to figure out. My mom and my dad don't know what the fuck to do. They've never dealt with hurricanes like that. So they don't know what the fuck to do. My brother-in-law and my sister have lived here already, I think 2 years before we moved down here. So they've already dealt with some type of hurricane. But we've never dealt with it. So we're on the mercy of my brother-in-law. So I started to see a couple suspicious things. Like cooking inside the apartment in a grill, in the porch. I'm not like, that's a hazard, isn't it? We gotta eat. They had portable radios and stuff and batteries and like a bunch of like steaks and meats and beer and fans with batteries in them. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on, bro? It felt like to me, this was going to be Armageddon and we're not going to make it out of this. This is how you guys are living right now. They started moving furniture. We're sleeping on the floor. What? They start moving the couches apart. Living room space got bigger. Started putting blankets and pillows and shit down on the floor. And the porch door was open, all the way open. And all the food and everything was outside, inside coolers and everything. We got electric. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, our power hasn't gone out yet at this point. The hurricane was just hitting us. Like, just starting to get on land. So we were just getting the rain. We were getting the thunder. We were getting the winds. But we were getting nothing crazy to the point where these people, I'm seeing these motherfuckers pack up like that's it. Life is over. So as they're setting this shit up, I'm in my room because we all decided to use my dad's apartment as ground zero. This is where we all gonna meet up. This is where we go. Not ground zero. Take that back. This is gonna be where we meet up. This is the meet up spot. It's when shit like this happens, so we can all stay together. With my parents' house because their apartment was bigger, and it held more people. It was 3-bedroom, 1 bath, so it held more people. My sister was in the 2-bedroom. And that was it. We only had my sister and her husband. So they all got there. I went to my room and I'm like, y'all niggas is wilding. Relax. So I laid down in my bed and I'm listening to music. And all of a sudden, like, I hear like the wind, like my window was like vibrating really bad, like to the point where I was fearful that the glass was gonna break and it was gonna shatter and like scratch my face up. So then I was like, all right, quick thinking, we need to duct tape the windows. Because if it breaks, the duct tape's gonna hold the glass. Less cleanup. Absolutely less cleanup. And it'll protect any other things from penetrating through the window. So I duct tape my window. The whole fucking thing. This is why, I'm gonna tell you in a minute, why you shouldn't do that. I'm gonna tell you that. Why you shouldn't do that. And I'm like, that's just scaring the shit out of me now. Now I'm into a situation where this is not an enemy that I'm trying to battle. This isn't a person that I'm fighting. I'm fighting weather. I can't fight weather because I don't have those type of powers. I'm not Storm. So I'm over here thinking, yo, this is my movie. I need to be the hero in this and I need to save my family because you never know what's going to happen with these type of situations. I go outside. It's raining and it's windy, but it's not like abnormal to be that windy and that rainy for that time of year in Florida. Now I learned that now. I didn't know that before. But it was just rainy and a little bit windy. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go real quick to the store. At this moment, I was smoking cigarettes still. And I was like, I need to go to the store. And I don't know if they're going to have packs of cigarettes or not. I don't know if they're going to be open. So let me go get that shit now. I went to the store. Got there. Dude was literally about to close. Like, he was literally about to turn the lock on that door. And I went, whoa. I bought a carton and I ran back in and I left and I went back home. And as we were pulling into the apartment complex, the lights go out. In the apartment complex, all the lights inside the apartment complex goes out. So I went, oh shit. What the fuck does this mean? And my brother-in-law said, I guess we ain't got no power. And then he keeps on driving like nothing happened. Like nothing stopped him from maneuvering the vehicle after this travesty just happened. No electric is crazy, bro. Especially in Florida when these AC run on electric. It gets cold. No, it gets hot. Not cold, it gets hot. Talking about 90-degree weather and it's raining. It's horrible. We get there. And when we park in front of the porch where the apartment is, all I started seeing looks like a chapel. My mother has got candles everywhere. Catholic candles, regular scented candles, the little tea candles, birthday candles. She's got every candle that we've owned in 20 years lit up. So when I go down, I was like, are they praying? Like what? Like, I thought when we were going to walk in that everybody was going to wear like little monk outfits. Everybody just praying to the God of weather to please save us. So now I'm freaking out even more because my brain likes to wander when I see shit like that. And I was like, yo, what's going on? And he's like, oh, the lights went up. They need light. So let's go in. Let's go help them out and set everything up. They were already planning. They already knew what was going to happen. My brother-in-law and my sister already have been dealing with Florida weather and hurricanes for 2 years. They set everything up the way it was supposed to. My brother-in-law had a generator. That generator was outside in the porch with the exhaust hole. Literally, he made a makeshift little tunnel where the exhaust could be filtered throughout the fence. So it could just go outside and it'll be less. I mean, we still smelt the gas and we still smelt all that shit, but it was more of, it wasn't bothering us as much because it was getting filtered out. And he got that on. So my mom has one of the little pan heaters. She started cooking. She started putting bacon on that shit and cooking bacon, and we were doing BLTs to eat. So my mom's over here cooking up BLTs, taking the bread and putting it on the pan, toasting it both ways, cutting up tomato and lettuce, bam, bam, bam. Everybody get a sandwich. So over here eating, and then the weirdest thing started happening. Like the radio, they turned on the radio, and it just started going and going. The fans, everything was connected to the generator. So we were getting the AC, not the AC, but we were getting the fans to work, and we were getting some lamps and stuff to work to help us with lighting and shit like that. And then we had the barbecue. My brother-in-law started throwing fucking steaks and shit after a couple of hours, throwing steaks and shit. Mind you, we in the middle of the living room, on the floor, playing cards, playing dominoes, making jokes, talking shit. Everybody fucking drinking, except my nephews. But everybody else was fucking piss-faced drunk, drinking our asses off, like wobbling. The funnest time I totally forgot that there was a hurricane. I totally forgot that there was an absolute fucking hurricane. And I was like, this is what we need. All the electronics was gone. And that's when the electronics was just hitting the market. That's when everybody wanted to get everything. And I was just like, oh shit. I didn't know what was going on at the moment. I was like, oh, this just sporadically happened. Wait until the end. And we're having the most funnest time ever. And then our neighbors came. When our neighbors came, that's when the party started. They started bringing bottles. They started bringing new music. So we were there chilling, everybody having a great time. And I'm forgetting this isn't even a storm. So, you know, my mom and my dad don't want smoking in their house. So I went outside. I was like, I hope it's good enough outside to smoke a cigarette. That's what I said to myself. I went outside, and there's like a little courtyard, right, in our apartments. When you come out of the door, there's like a little courtyard. They had a little bench in that courtyard. That bench was upside down. I opened that door, and if I wasn't the strong man that I was, that door would have took my fucking arm out. The way the pressure, when I was closing the door behind me, it just went and sucked it all up, and I almost fucking tripped. It was so horrible. I feel like we should not be having the fun we're having. What the fuck is going on outside? The palm tree in front of my bedroom door was completely ripped down. There was debris and shit on cars. There was one guy that you could see how a big piece of a branch came and went right through his fucking windshield. It was horrible. It was pandemonium outside. I still lit the cigarette though. I went like this and I got to a corner. What the fuck is that? And I'm flicking the ashes, the wind blowing the cigarette out my hand. I had to go light up another one. And I'm like, I gave up. I said, fuck it. I opened the door. When I turned the knob to go in, there was so much wind going around this tunnel that I couldn't even open the fucking door. So I thought they locked it. So I'm knocking on the door and my dad pulls it and I almost fall through the fucking door. And he was like, you need to start drinking. You can walk. And I was like, no, you dumb motherfucker. I could walk. It's like, dude, this shit is serious right now. And we're over here not acting like nothing. And at that time, I was doing drugs. So I had some pills on me and I had some coke on me and I haven't taken it because it's like I almost could tell like my parents know when I'm on it. So when I'm around it, I try not to be on it, but it's very hard. That's why I'm mostly not there. When I was in the beginning stages, I eventually found my apartment, moved the fuck out, left. But I went to my room and I took a flashlight and I was like, I'm gonna go to my room because I was like, I'm not gonna sleep in the living room with y'all because I got a bed. I'm good. My windows are duct taped. I'm fine. So I go to my room and then I have a fan that is pretty much corded to outside. So I got a fan that the cord goes all the way into my bedroom so I could close the door. So I got the windows closed. I got that fan rolling. So it is humid as fuck in this place. I'm hot as fuck. So I go to the shower. I thought to myself, I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to pop what I got. I'm gonna take a cold shower. I might just have my boxes on and I'm gonna lay down in bed with no covers and let the fan just hit me. And I'm just gonna be zooted and I'm gonna be chilling zooted. And that was the plan. Plan did not go as expected. I took a shower. There's no power. I wanted a cold shower, but I didn't want that type of cold shower, brother. And for the short distance, I literally got a good probably less than 2 minutes of water until it started trickling out. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? But I got out the shower, cold as fuck. So I'm like, that's good because I am hot. Put my shit on, go over there. I can't walk straight. I've been drinking and I just popped some shit. So I can't even walk straight. I ended up tumbling and I thought I was in my room, but I wasn't in a room. I ended up in one of the couches that was close to the window. Everybody was sleeping on the floor. Everybody passed out, snoring going on. And I don't know why I didn't just go to my room, but I ended up in one of the couches. One leg to the floor, the other leg on the couch, and my arms like this, spread out. You're showing the world the goodies. Showing the world the goodies. And this is where everything went to straight hell. I'm like zooted as fuck, right? Like I'm tipsy, I'm old, whatever you want to call it. I'm high. And I'm laying down. And all I hear my mother walks towards where I'm at. And all I hear from my mother is, you need to wake up and you need to go to your room if you're gonna sleep like that. Nobody wants to see your sausage just hanging out. Nobody wants to see that, bro. So I bald eagled it and I just showed everybody the world, everything. And my mother's like, no. That's what fucked me up. The machine gun knows that my mother said. She said, no, you're not doing that. Go to your room. I don't want to see none of that. Mind you, at this time, I'm like 19. I'm just turned 20 at this point. So I'm just like, that's how I used to sleep. Now I don't. I think that's why, because I didn't know I did it. I woke up and I started walking. I went to the bathroom. And then from there, I don't remember much. All I know, I did end up in my bed. I wake up the next day. Hurricane passed us. Go outside. There was a little bit of damage to my dad's car. There was a little bit of damage to my brother-in-law's car. Nothing crazy. Nothing happened to the apartment. Nothing happened to the window. There was no glass shattered or any of that shit happened. So all that was good. We started cleaning shit up, putting shit away, doing everything. My mom and my dad are having a field day talking about how they found me sleeping on the couch. And that was a big thing. Everybody was like, you couldn't put pants on. It was the question. Like, why couldn't you just put, like, if you had basketball shorts and they found, you would have been fine. You were covering a lot with basketball shorts. But you were wearing your boxes and them bitches were open. And I was like, well, excuse the fuck out of me, bro. It ain't my fault that my shit hangs low and it wobbles to and fro. Fuck you want me to do about that? Ain't my fault. And then there comes cleanup time. So my brother-in-law is disconnecting the generator, doing all his thing with the generator. I'm moving couches around. We putting everything back in order the way it was and everything. And then I go to my room, take the duct tape out. And then that's it. So we finished doing all that shit. I go to my room. I start taking the duct tape out and I go, and you know the duct tape leaves that white secretion of glue? Well, that stood there and I was like, oh, I'll get that in a minute. Problem. The sun hits directly into my window, so the sun is baking that fucking glue as we speak. Like the window is hot. The window's not even cold. The window is hot. So I'm taking the tape out. And all that glue just stood there. I went outside to go throw the ball of tape that I had out. And I got caught doing something. I came back. Not even the tears of baby Jesus would have taken that glue out of that window. So in my mind, when we lived in New York, When you mess something up in the apartment or something happens in the apartment, you call the landlord comes upstairs, checks it out. If he can fix it, he fixes it. He gets paid. He doesn't pay. This is how it worked back in the day. The landlord, the perks of being a landlord is you don't pay rent for where you live in the building, but you have to live in the building. But you pay no rent. It's your apartment for free. But when these people call you, you need to go and you need to fix their shit. You get paid a salary amount throughout, I think it's 2 weeks or every month or whatever, however it is that they get paid. I think it's every 2 weeks. But they get paid like that. Their job is to collect rent, make sure all the heater and everything is working in the place. But you start to form a relationship with the landlord, whether it be good or bad, is all depending on the landlord. But you start forming a relationship with the landlord that little things like this, you go look at it and be like, oh, goo gone. Spray some goo gone, scrape it with a blade. No problem. That shit comes right the fuck off. I never knew any of that because our landlord always came and fixed everything. We didn't have to fix anything. We didn't have to figure anything out because our landlord was there and that was his job, was to come and fix the shit. So why the hell would we want to learn how to do any of that? But I didn't know how to take glue off a fucking window. I didn't know that until I started getting into the actual auto parts industry and I started getting my ASC certifications and all this other shit. And I started to learn and started to teach myself how shit works and putting shit together, working with my hands. So that didn't come until later. This is the infancy of, this is my first job. Before this, I was hustling in the streets. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I didn't have I signed an application job. I was just out in the streets trying to figure out a way to make money. By any means necessary. Not any means. I didn't go to no Diddy parties. But we go, and I said, oh, not a problem. Let me go see how I could get in contact with the landlord to see who the landlord is. I'm thinking this is an apartment. There's a landlord. Not an office. Not a place where people work as a team and it's all luxury and shit like that. When I moved, I lived in Waters Avenue, in those apartments on Waters Avenue. And when people were telling me, oh, you live in the hood, like people in Walmart, I worked in Citrus Park Walmart. So people in Walmart were asked me when I was working, like, where do you live? Yada, yada, yada. And I was like, I live over there. Oh, that's the hood. They considered an apartment that has a beautiful pool, a beautiful lake in the front of it, grass and trees, and I saw a Duct family walk. That's far from ghetto. That's far from the streets. That's far from anything. That is a nice place to live. There was not one piece of trash on the floor. They had a whole full dumpster that people were actually walking and putting their shit in. So it was, to me, this was the furthest from being ghetto that there was until I went to the office. I go to the office and I was like, hey, I'm gonna need somebody to get some glue off the glass, off the window. There's some tape glue in the window and I'm trying to get that off. And she was like, why? Was it there when you guys moved in? And I was like, no. Because the hurricane, I put duct tape on the window. And then I was not able to take it out until later on, a couple of hours after the shit passes. And when I took it off, there's glue in it and it doesn't want to come off. And she was like, why did you put duct tape in the window? I was like, because if glass broke, the tape will hold the glass. It's like it won't shatter everywhere. So cleanup is literally peeling the glass back if it does break. And the duct tape is strong enough that it's gonna hold. I also fucked up the paint on the side of the windows. But she was like, well, we're gonna have to send somebody, one of the maintenance men, to go and check it out. Maintenance men. It was just a whole new world. It was a whole new world for me. I was like, what the fuck you talking? They're like, yo, send somebody over there with some shit to take the thing off. That's all you need to really do. I was like, all right, thank you. Appreciate whatever. I go back to the apartment. I'm in my room. I'm chilling. A couple hours pass by. Guy comes in, and then my dad opens the door in the room, and he says, somebody here for a window. So what happened? And I was just like, my dad is thinking that the hurricane broke one of the windows. And I was like, no, the tape. And I showed it to the guy, like, I put some tape there for the glass. I thought it was a great idea. I don't know why people tripping about it. But I put that there, and then when I took it off, that's what I got left over. So you see how it's got kind of faded and gooey, and you can't really look outside? Yeah, I try to use soap and water. Soap and water don't work. So it's on you. And he had, at that time, I know what it was, but at that time, I didn't know what it was. So I called it the magic bottle. Because that nigga, all he did was, he took that bottle, put the little straw into the nozzle, and went, tss, 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 tss. Waited like literally seconds. Came with a microfiber towel and went, and took everything off in one swoop. And I was like, holy moly donut chop. What is that? And he's like, oh, it's Goo Gone. And like, you just spray that thing on anything adhesive and it eats it up and makes it all soft and you can wipe it off with no problem. Sometimes you have to scrape it. Sometimes you could just wipe that shit right off. And I was like, that's amazing. So I'm over here and I'm having a good conversation with dude. I'm having a great conversation. He's spraying corners and sit and then wiping and then he's coming back with the blade and he's just making sure he's doing a clean, accurate job. Make sure there's not one bit of that glue left on the window. So I'm just like, yo, he's doing a thorough job. So comes back with the blade, sprays it one more time, scrapes everything off. That window's brand new. Brand new. Beautiful. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Now I can watch the birds chirp. I like to watch birds chirp in the morning. My window is next to a tree. I'll take the blinds off and I'll open up the shade. Open the window. I could listen there. I could drink my coffee. You know how many times I sat at the bridge of my window in my room and opened that with a cup of coffee and a cigarette, watching the birds chirping early in the morning? Tweet, 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 tweet. Yes, bird, yes. Blowing smoke in their faces and all that. Beautiful time. Beautiful time. Couple days passed by. We had a letter in the mail. They're charging us, I think it was like $100 and $200 something for going in there and cleaning that window. Let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. That man wasn't there for no more than 30 minutes. No more than 30 minutes. If he would have looked at it and he could have told me, hey, go to the auto parts store, get this thing called Goo Gone, use that, and it'll come right off. And he would have left, you didn't really work. You just gave somebody advice. I give people advice all the time. The top of the discounts that they give them to help them out because of the pricing. You could help a brother out. So they charge us $200 and something to go ahead and get this goose shit off the window. But this hurricane, that thought crossed my head. Oh shit, I should duct tape the windows. I stopped that right away. That's what made me do this story. Because I remember what happened that time. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, if you're into Florida, if you're in any way, shape, or form around this hurricane, please, please, please prepare. Poor preparation provides poor performance or something like that. Prepare. And any over prepare so like that you won't regret it later. That's how we do it in my family. We over prepare. So like that, when it hits and it goes away, we're like, all right, well, we're good because we over prepared. So please, guys, be safe. Keep everybody safe. Keep us updated. Buy one of those portable chargers for your phones like that. you can keep contact with people and make sure we keep in contact with each other. I love all of you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I'm gonna talk to you guys hopefully tomorrow, but I don't count on it because the hurricane is gonna hit later on tonight till tomorrow. Well, we're gonna get rains and thunderstorms and stuff like that. So let's see how it happens. If Thursday morning, if I wake up tomorrow and we still got power and it's raining, but it's not crazy, I'll try to come here as early as possible and knock out as much videos as possible before it gets later and that storm starts getting closer. So I love you guys. I'm going to try to talk to you guys tomorrow. Please be safe. Peace.
I got a bad feeling about this.
They say Larry is a vibe like my nigga Ray. I be cool and I get high. I roll bigger J.